My presentation is about the influence of internet on tourism. The structure of my presentation is going to be like this. I'm just going to talk really global about what is tourism or what's a tourist and what is the internet. It's really global, I'm sure everybody knows what it is. But the increase of internet booking in the last years and why are there still so many travel agencies. It's going to take about 7 or 10 minutes, I hope. And you can ask questions after the presentation. Okay, what is tourism? A tourist is someone that goes to a different country or a different place and stays there for at least 1 day and as long as 1 year. So for example, I lived in the United States for a year, so I wasn't a tourist. Although I lived in Chicago, but I visited other parts of the United States, like Miami or something. I was a tourist then. It can be for fun, it can be for business, study, or even health problems if you are visiting a hospital or something. What is the internet? The internet is a global system connected of computer networks, and it has information resources and services such as the World Wide Web and the infrastructure that supports email. It was designed in the 1960s, originally for universities and also for the United military. But in the 1990s, the wide public got to know the internet as we do now. The increase of internet booking, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it in the back, but it starts with 1999 as of 2005. In 1999, there was only 2% of the internet booking, of the bookings was on the internet, and in 2005, 42% of people booked their vacations on the internet. So, yeah. 2 years ago, I did a survey with a classmate of mine, and we asked around 100 people, and we actually found out that 74% books their vacation using the internet. So that was 2008. And why did they use the internet? They said it was easier, it was quicker, and most of the time cheaper. And we also asked if they are influenced by the internet. 96% answered yes, because everybody's on the web these days. We see advertisement, we use social networking, so we can communicate with each other on the internet, and we hear experience of everybody's vacations, we see pictures. Also user-generated content, websites like YouTube, we can see footage of countries and we like and we think, hey, that's nice, I want to go there. Maybe book the flight on the internet, maybe using a travel agency. So why are there still so many travel agencies? I actually asked some employers at some travel agencies. They say people like personal contact, personal advice. It's also a different kind of information they give you, and they give you a sense of trust, because if you book on the internet, there can always be a fraud, or people don't always like to take that risk, and if you go to a travel agency, they think it's more safe. And who and why? People that go to travel agencies, most of the time they want to go really far away. The travel agencies employers said that most of the time, if people want to go somewhere in Europe, they book their flight on the internet because they if something goes wrong, they know they're pretty close, they can go home. But if you go to America or Australia or China, they won't have the safe chance. They want to go to a travel agency. They want to have more information. You don't always get the information on the internet. And you have also, of course, the elderly people that don't have internet. For example, my grandmother is 87, she doesn't even have a computer, so she would go to a travel agency, although I don't think she's ever been out of the country. But my other grandmother, on the other hand, she's 67, and she does have a computer. She actually has Twitter. She's not very good at it though, and she emails me sometimes. She's better at that. But if she wants to travel, she would actually go to a travel agency, because she doesn't like to take the risk to find out how it works on the internet and all these cool things. decrease of travel agency in the Netherlands. In 2000, there were 2,022 travel agencies. And 7 years later, in 2007, there were only 1,674, which is a decrease of 18%. And the expectations are that in 2015, there are only 1,100 travel agencies left, and it will decrease more and more. Although some people think it will decrease less because people still want to have the personal contact and the personal advice, so they still want to have the travel agencies. And I don't know how many there are in your city, but in my little town there are already 3 travel agencies. So they're still there, and I like to go to them. For example, my parents went to visit me in the United States, but they didn't want to just go to Chicago where I lived for a week or something. They want to see more. So they went to the travel agency and asked for what is nice to see in the United States. And they said, well, the West Coast is really nice. So they planned a whole trip there in like 4 states by car. They rented the car, and my parents really liked that because they couldn't have done that themselves. And of course, the plus of a travel agency is that you get a cup of coffee. Thank you. Anybody has questions?
Yeah, do you think a travel agency would have a certain focus on a certain type of the market, for example, more niche?
I think for further destinations, because most people want to go in Europe, they'll do it themselves. I mean, I think most people here, if they're going to go to Spain or Greece, they book it online. Well, if you want to go to China, I think I would go to a travel agency. Yeah, because it's just, they have more information or better information sometimes. Okay. Anybody else?